Okay, can you see the screen now? Can you see Trade Tiger?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, Trade Tiger has these, like any typical software, these watch lists that you can create of your from your own, or you could use any standard watch list. They give any number of watch lists are built into the system. Now we are using big trade list, which is the FNO stocks, basically the big traded stocks. So I'm just checking Bajaj Auto because I saw some nice buy zones being formed there. Even visually, you can understand the concept. Okay, I put this very. Now, these are the only two things that you require for the zone theory. And I have to. So now this is the daily chart for Bajaj Auto. All right. Now, I think March was the big low point, right? So this method was devised by a person called Sam Seedon. He was an American broker's assistant who used to sit in a broker's shop in those days and take down orders manually in a notebook. What he found out was some patterns in these orders that came in. So he used to find out that whenever there are the big guys buy, the funds or the high net worth individuals or any family offices and so on, the insurance companies, for example, they always buy at a fixed level. That is a very narrow band of buying happens. Okay, they do not buy, they do not chase the price. If the price goes up, they just wait. Let the price come down to their level and buy again. So this was the first major thing that he found out in this entire process. The second thing that he found out was that they can wait even 2-3 months for their price to come back. And as soon as it came back to that level, they would trigger off a fresh buy. And they would buy in huge quantities, obviously. And that forms the basis of what is called a support and resistance. So when big buying happens at a particular point, that means you're investing a lot of money is getting invested into that stock at that particular point or that particular price point. So that is where the buy zone is formed. So that is where retailers have to buy. They are not supposed to buy just because there is a momentum or something of that sort. Of course, that's his theory. There are other theories which are based on technicals and all, where you will not buy at such low prices. You will only buy after some commitment, as you see some firm commitment or some firm trend. But the major things that all the big guys do is buy at these buy zones. So I am trying to teach you how to, the first and foremost, how to identify what is a real buy zone, what is not a real buy zone. Okay, that's the simplest thing that you should know. And if you know this and you just trade within a buy zone and sell within a sell zone, you can comfortably make, you'll always be profitable. Okay. So now the first and foremost thing is you see this line is the approximately the average volume of Bajaj Auto. Somewhere it will be somewhere here. Okay. Now you mark the points which are much higher than this, though, where the volume has shot up. See, this is one such point, this is a point, this is a point, so on and so forth. Okay. And you identify places where there is a firm trend reversal around this particular point. So here there was a trend reversal, right? Okay. It was falling and then it was risen. So this is what is called a buy zone. This is not a buy zone because the trading that happened is less than the average trading which is happening. So that means even though it was so low, no big guy is buying here. So there's an uncertainty. People do not know, or people are still frightened whether the market is going to go up or come down still further or not. The other thing is the 45-day trend line. That is this blue line here. So this is negative. So the slope, when you're doing automation, you cannot see a chart and decide where you want to have to buy or not. So I use the slope of this. So any math student or any science student will tell you this is the slope at that particular point of time. So where this slope becomes zero, that means it becomes horizontal. That is an indication that there's going to be definitely a trend reversal at this point of time. Okay, so here the slope is negative, then it starts approaching zero, and then it turns positive. So where this slope starts changing is what is called the second derivative, the slope of the slope. So that starts reducing, so that starts becoming negative, and the slope of this line itself becomes that is the first derivative starts tending towards zero or starts flattening out. So that is where a buy zone is likely to form. So this is where a computer or an algorithm will indicate that there is a definite indication that the trend is actually very steady here. It's down, down, down. Even though there was a sudden jump, the trend is still very firmly down. But out here, you see, again, the jump is not as much as here. The price is less than what it was here. But it's still, the trend has changed here. Very definitely, the slope has decreased. The negative, slope has increased. It was negative. Now it is trending towards positive. And the slope at this particular point of time is almost zero. So this is where the buy zone is forming. Okay, but it's not yet fully formed. The slope hasn't turned zero. The slope turns zero only here. Okay, so even though this was negative, there is a definite indication that you should be buying at this level. And at that point of time, you should look for a sharp jump in the if you look for a sharp jump in the volumes, that means some big guy has been buying at this time. See, all the chiller public will be buying here. All these small. No big guy is buying here. Okay, the big fellows have started buying around this area. And this could be retail. Retail gets excited. Thoda sa jump ho gaya, immediately they'll pile on. So, and then they'll be crushed. So, but this kind of buying, no retailer has this capacity to buy this much. 5 times or 6 times the average volume. This is not some retailer who has done this. It would be an FII or DII or somebody, some really big guy, or a group of big guys who bought at this level. So this is a very safe level for buying. But now this is already up. So this is not the buy zone. The buy zone is actually this. So where a candle changes from red to green or from green to red will be a sell zone. But wherever there is a change in trend, so you have a red candle followed by a green, 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 or green, green, or even a single green, that is likely to be a buy zone. The best buy zones are red followed by green, green, and another green. Okay, so this is a fantastic point because it's green, 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 green. But this is not the lowest point in this entire setup. The lowest point was somewhere here, right? This point. So between these three, so now I don't have, this is Ravindra login. So I don't know whether, one second. I have the pitchfork tool in this. Yeah, it is there. Yeah, I'll have to use the horizontal lines, but I'll just try to. See, this is the low end of the buy zone. Okay. This is the upper end of the buy zone. The lower you could take this wick, the upper end you may take the wick, you may not, you need not take the wick. It depends on the strength of the momentum, but usually when at this point of time, the momentum is always zero. In the sense it's flat, it's undecided at this point of time. So now these are the levels between which you should be buying. Okay. So now you see how many times this level after this buy zone has been created, you got a chance here, you got a chance here, here, and here. Okay. After this, you never got a chance again to buy at this level. So this is the way you identify buy zones, and this is the time when you're going to do the actual buying. So your first buy should be at this point, your second buy should be somewhere in the middle, and your third buy should be at the lower point, or your stop loss could be at the lowermost part of this. So if the thing cracks, then what will happen is it's very likely that you're going to, the buy zone is not going to be, sustained, or the buy zone is not going to work out. So it might actually break right through, and this could have well gone right below like this. Instead of going on up, it could have
Ashwin,
gone
sir.
down here.
I just wanted to check with you, while here the graph is being seen in hindsight, but during the real time, it will be difficult for us to anticipate what is going to happen in the future. So how do you go about identifying in that case?
We have identified something which has happened in the past. I don't care about the future.
Oh, okay.
I have identified something which has already happened, right? This has already happened. I have seen this happening. All right. Now this,
okay.
when this jump has happened already. Okay. When I saw this jump, I realized that some big buying had happened here, which may not have been noticed. Probably at the bottom of this time, some big guys have bought, because we won't know from a day chart exactly what time this happened. You can check the minute chart and the second chart and all that also. But what it means is that in this level, a lot of buying has happened. So now in future, whenever this price comes down to this level, I am going to buy. Okay.
Okay, that answers.
When did the price come between these two? It came one day after this happened. It just entered, no? It just broke through. Again the next day, again the next day. So here there's a big red candle. So you might wait just to see what happens. The second day again, but it has bounced back from there. It has not really remained too deep into the buy zone. Again, the next day it just went into the buy zone and remained somewhat up. And the third day it has broken through the buy zone. Right? It has broken out. It ended above, slightly above. Maybe.
Okay, so thanks, sir.
On these 2 days, you should have been buying. Okay. The next day you got a very good chance, because it it breached both the zone levels, but it didn't go to 2% or 3% below this, because that would be your stop loss. Just below this buy zone, lower level, no? You should keep your stop loss somewhere here. Okay. So now this is the point where I would have bought. And this is the point where the algo will buy. It's automatically coded like that. So now why this is safe is there is some guy who has bought very huge quantities at this price. Okay. So they have all the research, they have all the insider information everywhere in the world. Everything at every resource at their fingertips, they already have. So buying below the price that they have bought is very safe.
Ashwin sir, I have a question here. May I ask?
Yeah.
So, see, the one wherein it has got a higher upper wick, you were saying that probably there has been buying at that point, right? Because of
Which
high
one?
volumes. The gap up one.
Yeah. This
more
gap
like a
up, no?
greenstone. Yeah.
This one, the
yes,
doji
yes.
one.
But yes, so wouldn't that be more like us selling at the top? Because in technical analysis you also have pin bar reversals. So wherein if you have a higher upper wick with higher volumes, that would signify shorts. And if you see the next day,
it has come down. See, this obviously tells me that the upper point could not sustain.
Right. So
right.
would you not want to buy at the other candle wherein the lower shadow is higher? I mean, it's bigger.
Which one? This one? So that is where we have actually bought. So what I'm saying is we will be buying not at this, not at this, not at this. We will be buying at these two candles.
Okay, got that.
Okay, because I am not bothered about what the price does.
Right.
Okay, I know for certain that a lot of people have bought at this level. Okay, I also know for certain that this kind of buying cannot be done by retailers. They don't have the capacity. Even put together, we don't have that capacity to put in some 150 crores in one company.
Correct.
Right. So this has to be one of the big people buying, and they are not going to sell at a loss, right?
Correct.
So that much support is already built into the system. So that is why this is the buy zone. The buy zone is not about anywhere in this candle. Right. It is well below that candle, and it identifies the change in the slope, or it identifies the change in this pattern. Okay, where that happened, that has happened somewhere here. Okay, around these 3 days. Just put the dates.
Correct. Thank you.
Okay.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So sir, if we are able to spot the buy zone, whether then one should go about buying, like, let's say 80% of the quantity, or shall we do a staggered buying? Because now this
always
is the right.
I mean, I do always stagger buying. I can't tell about anybody else. I always do stagger buying, because I'll show you how many times these buy zones will come. Whoever tells you whatever, there is any number of times you will get a chance again and again and again. There is no need for anyone to buy, put a rush and buy, especially when the market is uncertain.
Okay, got it.
See, if you're guaranteed that the market is going only one way, then you buy whatever you want immediately. I have never, in 35 years, I have never seen a day when I was 100% sure the market is only going to go up.
Okay.
Only after that Modi ji's first this thing, no? The first election, that time, that boom which happened, that time we were almost 100% sure it is only going up. But otherwise, there has never been a case where we are so certain.
So in your sorry to just finish my question. So generally, sir, whenever you're sharing your order kind of examples, wherein for the first buy zone, let's say you buy a smaller quantity and the next more. So because this was an ideal point to buy, I was just curious then that whether at least 50% or you would still go ahead and buy a smaller portion and wait for the next.
Buy only small portion. Yeah.
Okay.
Still buy small quantities always.
Got it. Okay.
May I ask a question, sir?
Yeah, please. Good.
See, basically this line.
Which line?
Some this blue line, I think.
No, the blue line
545,
is
but
the
yeah,
45-day average, moving average.
45 days moving average.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is 2 months moving average.
Okay, okay. Got it, sir.
So
Thank you.
it takes care of most of the things, 2 months or 3 months. You can use 3 months also. There's no problem. 60-day moving average.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank
60-day means 60 trading days. Huh?
Sir, how?
Yeah, okay.
Sir,
So
how
45 days is 2 months.
Sir, please also let us know at the levels which you start booking profits also, as and when you.
Yeah, so that
see
is the sell
the
zone.
buying
We'll come to that.
Sir, one question may I ask?
Yeah, please.
Sir, in the month of October, on the same page, if you see in the month of October, just beginning of the October, there is a huge spike of volume. But over
Yes.
there, the trend line is flat. It is almost flat. There is no change in the slope of the trend.
Yeah. Huh.
So in that case, should we ignore and not? So what is the interpretation of this situation?
No, that means this is the buy zone. This one. This is the next buy zone. What this means is this previous buy zone is probably never going to occur again. Unless there is a major crash. There was a fresh, huge buying at this level itself, above this. Right? So whenever the price comes down to this level, it is going to bounce back from there. It may not go up very high or whatever, but this is the new support.
Oh, okay.
What's happening?
So this.
How do we? So does it mean
this
that
is
we are
going to
in
be
a
the
buy
new
zone right
support
now for this particular script?
Sorry?
Does But it how mean do you know it's that? currently in a buy zone?
No. This is some old data. Yeah, this is November data. Right now we are somewhere way above. Okay, but we are near a buy zone. See, this was a huge move up, right? So the new buy zone would be somewhere here. So we almost touched, but we did not quite touch. So it is still going to come and it will breach this. That time you should be buying at 3527, 3525, something like that.
Sir, but in the slope is not zero here. So
it is zero. It is actually zero.
Like
see,
where the volume has
zero,
spiked.
Right?
Okay.
Here, no? Because there are certain, there are two types of zones. One is a continuation zone, that is green, followed by maybe one or two. I can't show you blue candles in this because this is Ravin Reddy's login. There is something called a boring candle. So boring candle is when the wicks are more than 50%, means the body is less than 50% of the entire range. So the distance between the open and close is very small, like a doji, for example. This is called a boring candle, this one. The wick is much longer than the body, right? So this is a active candle. So there's some action happening in this. There's action happening here. But this is undecided. Though it went up, or though this went down, this market is still undecided because the open and close are very close to each other. So wherever there is a green followed by a little bit of indecision, and then again a set of green candles, or red followed by a little indecision, and then again a number of reds, that is also considered a buy or sell zone. But that is called a continuation buy zone, continuation of the trend which is already there. There you will not have a zero. So that you're absolutely correct. You do not have, the slope is not zero here. Okay. That is because these candles are actually, these two candles are indecisive. And then there's a green, indecision, and green again. Okay. So this is what is, so this could be a good buy zone.
But how do we get to know that? I mean,
that is a theory. I mean, whether it's 100% correct or not, I don't know. I have found it's useful. It usually works. There is very rare chance of a complete failure, obviously, like COVID times, nothing, no theory works, fundamentals, technicals, nothing works. Okay, so that kind of crash is pure panic driven. So that time, but why this is important is at that point of time, you should have cash. To as soon as you come out of the crash, you should be in a position to pile on. And that's the whole concept of this algorithmic trading. What we do is you have a SIP, you SIP say 1,000 rupees in the first month. In the second month, you should have your new 1,000 rupees plus your old 1,000 rupees should be also with you. So you SIP double or triple the quantity every month. You should regenerate whatever funds you have invested. You should have that much amount in your, obviously it won't work out, you won't make 100% per month, but I'm just trying to, over time it does happen, something of that sort. So every year, at least in a year's time frame, you have whatever you invested in that year, the next year it doubles. And that is the entire concept of this sort of trading. So you're trading always when it is low. There are other rules which I'll explain to you. But please do keep asking questions. So you must understand this. And regardless of what happens, remember that nothing moves up in a straight line. There's no continuous uptrend. Something will go up, it will come down, go up again, come down again. So these buy zones will be revisited. They'll be visited once here, there's revisited here. And it will be again revisited, don't worry.
So Ashwin sir, one question.
Yeah.
So if you go on your left, so when you started the example from, so there was a huge buying.
Yeah.
And that created the buying area.
Buy zone, yeah.
Buy zone. But after that, what the one which we are showing now also has a huge buying and a large green candle. But the pattern is totally different.
Yeah, it could be. See, here what has happened is...
How do we differentiate between the two?
You don't have to. The thing that is what, if the buying is huge like this, that means the level which was safe to buy, which is here, has now shifted a little above. Okay, now this level is also safe to buy from here to here. This kind of level is again safe to buy. Okay, now if you forget about this, here also, if you see cumulatively, there's a lot of buying which is much above the average for that particular script. So this also means that a lot of people have been buying here.
So this large volume stick is sort of a outlier here on the right.
That is why the large volume stick indicates that it is not retailers who are buying. You know, the tamam public keeps buying within this. The chiller buys which keep happening daily. And guys will buy, sell. Even the big guys might be just doing some regular trading. There's no serious buying there. The serious buying is here when this large, huge volumes happen. Now, of course, I have other resources also. Like I can verify this against the what BSE gives you. You know, the bulk trades and all those downloads also happen, and then I cross-verify with that whether actually some bulk trades happened on that particular day, and then confirm. But I'm trying to tell you, even if you don't have so many resources at your on hand, you can still make out that here there was a huge buying. So why was that? And it has been consistent. Wherever the price came down to this level, there has been a spike in buying, right? You see all about this from this end to this end. There have been several times when the buying is quite high. Okay, here it came down for one day within the buy zone. Again, it spiked up. Here it just touched the buy zone probably, and it again has spiked up.
Sir,
Now, this is
actually,
probably more of a retail buy.
can I ask a question?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
In the second big line that you have shown, if we see actually at the top of the this graph, it is indicating a huge selling also.
Which one?
This one, the second one, this point.
This one.
Yeah, this point.
So it's okay.
Is indicating a huge selling at this point. This volume is maybe representing a huge selling. How can we say that this is going to have a big sell, big buying here?
See, buying and selling is always equal. Okay.
What I want to put my point is, at this point, when where the second you are saying that the buying zone, at this point there is a huge selling also, because all the red candles are there.
Yeah, so everybody, they could be red candles. That is what.
Red candles are there.
So that is what you have to check out what happens after this. So that's the first thing that I told you. If there is a red followed by a green and a set of greens.
That means on this point we have to wait and then see the next candle if it is going green.
No, at this point I would have bought, because the actual buy zone is formed here. Okay. This was the original buy zone, where I can see a lot of buying has happened. May not be one great spike on one day, but still it is well over the average. Okay, so this is my buy zone. So when the price came down here, I'll be happy to buy here. Let everybody sell. I don't care. See, this theory is always contra. You're always playing for a trend reversal. I'm not going with the trend. Technical analysis won't work here. If you're going with the trend, momentum trading is something totally different. Okay, here you would be selling, because every day it has been going down. So the trend line is going down, right? So you'd probably be selling. You should be selling, but what would have happened if you had sold here?
But how can we identify the next that this is not a downtrend actually?
You don't have to identify. If it goes down, I'll still buy more, because it will go down from here. It will enter this buy zone. That is what will happen. It will reverse from here. It might break through. There is a possibility. It will break through here and go right down here. But then from here, it will reverse again. Okay, the overall trend of this particular thing is positive, right?
Yes.
Right now, this is positive. It has still not turned negative here, even though a lot of selling happened and all. It's flat. Still flat only. Okay. So that is fine. Some event happened, some like how many times the market has crashed 500 points. Because of that, some noise is there in outside, so the market crashes. You don't bother about what other people do. You just see the fact is it has reversed from here. It has reversed from here. If you want to play safe, don't buy here. You buy here. Again, the thing will repeat n number of times. You will get n number of chances to buy. Never think that you missed out, so you'll never get that chance again. It's absolute rubbish. You should never buy whatever price.
It's like previous support level. Till then, previous support level is not broken. We keep on buying at same level.
You can buy at that support level. There's no problem.
Yes, and Shunji is not buying at a time all the 100% allocation, whatever the amount he has kept. It's like he is buying in a staggered way.
Always buy in a staggered way so that the price is equal to the second last buying. I have shared those charts with you all many times. Okay, so if you buy say at 40 rupees you buy 10 shares. Okay, then at 30 rupees you buy 20 shares. At 20 rupees you buy 30 shares. 10 rupees you buy 40 shares. You just multiply and see. Whatever the price, the average price of whatever you bought is always equal to the second last price that you paid for. So you may not get the lowest price. It is difficult to get any day, but you will get the second lowest price. Okay, so even if this was broken, just assume that it will happen many times. this is broken, it will come here. My price will be this, my average price, or whatever I bought. I might have bought here also, but my average price will be equal to this, because the volumes that price multiplied by the quantity is always equal to the. So I have bought here at this buy zone, I have bought here, then I'll buy here. Okay, in this case the second lowest price is this, so this will be my average price, even though I bought here something. If I buy here, it will still be somewhere here. So I keep this 20% gap at any point of time. There is a 20% or 30% margin of safety, which is always there.
Sir, one doubt here.
Yeah.
You asked to average, like when it goes down, you have to double the quantity.
Not
But
necessarily
this will be
double.
only in your.
I just told you 10, 20, 30, 40. That's why I doubled. Sorry?
Yes, sir. But will it only in the zone which you have specified, or if it goes like 10% below your zone, then also you do averaging, or
only
you
at
just
the zone. No. Zone.
Only in the zone.
Only in
and
the
sir,
zone.
one more doubt, just for the automation sake, I'm asking. So
Hmm.
whenever there is a volume spike, can we take the last 5 days low as the buying zone? Like,
see, typically I'll tell you, if you are going to automate, you have a red and blue candle, right? I mean red and green candle.
yep.
So you check any R pattern like RG, RGG, RGGGGG, whatever it is, that that R to G, the first change is the lowermost part of that is going to be the your. That is correct. Okay. Now if you have if you have GRRR, whatever pattern, then that is the sell zone.
Sir, but this is a good example wherein the overall share sentiment is positive and we are finding the dips or the best pockets where the price is dipped for buying. So do you have a strategy wherein there is a bearish scenario for plotting the buy zones? Overall, if it's a bear market scenario,
see,
where
in
there
a
is a fall.
in a bear market scenario, what will happen is this spikes will never happen.
Okay.
So you will never get these big, huge buying. Even the big guys don't buy just for the heck of it, right? Just because if they find that there's something very serious has happened and there is great deal of uncertainty, they will just wait out. So there is no hard and fast rule that every buy zone you have to buy. So if this trend line is strongly negative, then even if you come to a buy zone, just ignore it. It might crack through the buy zone and come to the next level.
Okay, so in bearish market scenario, it makes a point to see even the volumes in that case, other than
always you have to see the volume. Okay. I mean, for marking the buy zones and sell zones. Now, how do you identify that Bajaj Auto is a company or not a company worth buying, or a company worth buying is the valuation model, which I can't cover today, because that is very, very vast. I'll cover it one of these days. Okay.
Thank you.
So the thing is that you have to identify, one thing is your what is your what conviction about a particular stock. That's one word everybody keeps using. So if you think that GMM is worth buying at 4,000, okay, then it should be more worth buying at 3,000. If you are convinced that it is a great stock and you must have it, and you're willing to buy it at 4,000, then why aren't you willing to buy it at 3,000? Then you check your conviction. Most probably it is all bullshit. You just say that you're convinced because somebody else has said. But if you really believe in that your own research or whatever it is, or somebody else's research also, and you're going to blindly put your faith in that or whatever it is, then you should be buying more. Every time it falls, okay, buy still more. That's even better. The biggest advantage of all these automated methods, or automated in the sense these are rule-based methods. These are not automated in, I'm not talking about computerized automated. There's a rule that if you get into this rule, I'm going to do this, regardless of what the market does. That the advantage is you will keep generating a good amount of profit. Whatever the market, whether it is bullish, bearish, it doesn't matter. You are buying at a low level, you are selling at a higher level. So whatever the market is doing, you're still going to make a profit. If you buy lower than you're selling level. Regardless of a bearish market, bullish market, it doesn't matter. If you don't get your level to sell, you just sit and do nothing. So, okay, you make a paper loss for some time. That's all right. I mean, you might have to be convinced about the company and about the country's economy. So if you're absolutely convinced that India is going down the Venezuela way and all that, then you shouldn't be buying anyway. But if you're convinced that the economy is booming or going to boom, okay, and your company is good for whatever reason, then that company in a booming economy is obviously likely to do well. So you should always be buying at that in that case. Have you understood the buy zone concept? We'll go to selling now.
Yeah. Yes. Ashwin sir, one question.
Yeah.
Sorry, the line which you have plotted, this like a blue line, it is a simple moving average of 45 days, right?
45 days simple moving average.
Yeah. And it will remain same in all trading tool, right? Like in investing, trading tool.
See, you can take 45 days, you can take 40 days, you can take 60 days, whatever you're comfortable with. Okay. For me, the algorithm actually calculates which is the moving average which is best representing the current scenario. And then it keeps changing. Sometimes it takes 45 days, sometimes it takes 40 days, sometimes 30 days. If it's very volatile, it will take 30 days average or 25 days average. But on an average, 45 days is a safe thing to take. It's not too long and it's not too short. But you might find 30 days works for you better.
But like as far as your like buying zone concerned, and sir, as far as your like buying buy zone, you have depicted it, like you have shown buy zone. So like till the time whatever you said about buying, don't you think that this 45 days simple moving average really helping us in that way? Because like you have emphasized mainly on like volume and like price action, right? This 45 moving average like doesn't help that much in our buying decision.
No. What I have explained to you is the 45-day moving average changes. Now this is a little mathematics, a 10 standard mathematics. This is called the slope of this line. Okay, the slope of the line is actually a tangent. That means a straight line. Now this is a curve, right? It is not straight, this one. Okay, so at any point of time, you take a straight line and just touch it to this curve. Okay, so that is called a tangent to that curve. It should touch only at one point, so it has to be perpendicular. It has to touch that curve only at one point. That is called a slope of the line. It's a standard mathematical concept. Now, when a horizontal line has a slope of 0, okay?
Yeah.
So whenever a buy zone is created, you will find that usually, not always, like the person showed this, where the slope is not 0, but usually when a buy zone is created, or the most safest buy zones are when this line is 0. And it has come from a negative to positive. See, where it has come from negative to positive, you will get a very, very, very powerful buy zone. This one.
So you mean slope
it actually was never reached again. Just see how powerful, I mean, how strong this buy zone was. If you had bought at 2,400, now the price is doubled. literally. May not double, 50% more or something like that. For such a high value share, 50% is pretty good. Okay, so where this,
this is this is which line you have drawn this H1D because
H1D is the tangent. This is called the tangent. This is the slope line.
Tangent.
This is the slope. So it touches this only. I mean, of course, this is not mathematically correct, but approximately I'm touching it at one point. Right? You can just touch it maybe like this. Only at one single point. At that time, it is horizontal. It could have been something like this also. It might have been a.
Are you meaning to say that the slope should be trending towards? Trend should be going towards zero.
See, you won't identify at this point of time that a buy zone is created. Okay, I identify the buy zone was created only when I came here on this line. All right, that something was cooking here, this place. Those big boys were buying quietly out here, and then they pushed up the price, or they jacked up the price, or that's something like that. So at this point of time, I recognize that this is my buy. This is a buy zone, so I mark it and keep. Now, when I am here, anyway, the price is well above the buy zone, so I won't buy. But when it comes down here, though the trend is negative, I would have gone on buying from this point, this point, this point, maybe. Okay, could be every day by little, by little, by little. As long as it is not breaking right through the buy zone, you can keep on buying. If it breaks right through the buy zone, then you wait for the next buy zone. You don't average in the sense you don't keep averaging every day 5 rupees less, 5 rupees less, that sort of thing. You just wait here. You may have bought once or twice within this buy zone. Now, if it still cracks, you wait. Let it go down. Let it go down as much as it wants to go down. Find the next buy zone is somewhere here. Maybe the price, instead of going up like this, would come down this way, and then gone up from here. That's also okay. You buy more here. But now you buy more here so that you average this price also down a bit. From this buy zone, the price would have been, average would have been somewhere here. So if you buy, say, 50 shares at 1,000 rupees, and the next buy zone is at 800 rupees, you don't buy 50 shares, you may buy 80 shares or something of that sort, whatever is the calculation. Okay, we have spent a lot of time just discussing one thing. I had a lot of things to discuss today. I thought tomorrow we'll spend on how to automate those things.
I have one doubt.
Yeah, tell me.
In a doubt sense, in a question. So this become in a buy zone and sell zones, which we are discussing. How to find new stocks like Intellect? You found this stock around 70. So what is the parameters we do to look out those new stocks? At
everything, whether new or not, like for example, Nazara or whatever has come out new, brand new, they will not have any buy zone.
Okay.
So you don't buy, simply.
No, how to find those stocks? Like
you don't. You don't. No, Goldium has been there for 25 years. Yeah.
Okay, but
the past history.
Discussion in group started, so I felt that it's a new stock. I was
no. It is. I have been buying Goldium since 1990, 2010.
Okay.
2007, something of that sort.
Okay.
So originally I bought it for 33, then sold it for 200 something. Then I exited completely. Now again it came down to 33, so I bought it again.
Okay. So you have set stocks on those only you trade.
Yeah, but there are one. I think that set of stocks on which I trade is 900, no, 1023 or something.
Oh, okay, okay.
I am okay to trade anything in that valuation report. Each and every stock is open.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
Then
so anything on the
how the
valuation
trade
report
happens?
is open.
How the trade happens automatically, and
That I will show you all tomorrow. I was
Okay.
planning to show you tomorrow. Maybe we'll have to, we won't finish whatever we are discussing here. The
Yes,
theory
yes.
itself is taking much longer.
Yes, no.
We could extend
What
it.
we'll do
I
is
mean, that's
tomorrow.
okay.
Tomorrow, what we'll do is first you complete the session, then we'll keep a question answer.
Okay, fine.
And
All right, now quickly, if people have time, of course, tomorrow is a working day, so even I have to work tomorrow. So now the same way you have a cell pattern. A cell pattern is a green followed by red or green, red, 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 something of that sort. Okay. Now there are 2 or 3 things to note in that. The selling usually may not happen as a spike because even at that level, some people have to buy for you to be able to sell. Okay, but selling is very, very easy to, the levels are very easy to notice. You can just check this out. See this, how many times this level has been. It's only when it was very, very comprehensively broken, that is when the next sell zone has been created. Otherwise, you could have sold here the first this thing in August and then sold again in middle of August and then again in September. First you would have sold here, then you would have sold here, then you would have sold here, then again you would have sold here and here and here and here. So selling is very, very easy to notice. The zones are usually selling peaks. Okay, so people get nervous after making a little bit of profit. So you'll always find these selling zones are very easy to spot. Okay, because it flattens out. The buying will keep happening up and down, it will keep going up. So the trend is quite there, but the selling trend is fairly easy to notice. That it is a kind of horizontal level above which a lot of selling happens and the price drops from there. Okay, so the standard way, the algo I have explained to you all, 30% from the first buy, then 70 or 80% from the average buy price, and then finally 2.1x or 2x of the average buy price, it will sell partially. Okay, so you could form that. You could also check out these levels. So selling usually will happen at this level, but if there is a level, see, your 40% or 80% might be well above this level. And you would get many chances to reach this level and come down from there. So that is why the 30, 80 and 2.1x is being kept as levels. So it's either the sell zone or 30%. The algorithm will sell. Okay, so if 30% was somewhere here, say, okay, now I know my chances of reaching 30% are very low because it's quite obvious that this is a kind of plateau that it is touching and then not able to sustain this price, and it's coming off this price. Number of times it has come off this price. So I will sell part here, sell here, and then buy again at the buy zone. Again sell when you come here. Again buy at the buy zone. Again sell whenever it comes here. So this little profits that you make, you keep pulling down the average price of your holding.
So
because
could you please
don't
tell
buy
again
all
that?
at once, you don't sell all at once.
Okay.
You sell partially, you buy partially, and you keep trying to keep on trying to. It's a very slow process. You are not going to get, but it's very, very foolproof.
Hello, Ashwini
Yeah,
bhai.
tell me. Bolo.
Yeah. In this buy zone or sell zone, when the buy zone we are selecting, that time the volume has to increase 3 to 4 times than the average volume. That is the
That is when you identify when the buy zone is.
Yeah. In case of sell zone, this volume is not important because
not important nahi hai. The sell zone also will probably have similar kind of volumes will be there. Like for example, you are not able to see, but they are not necessarily always apparent. What is very apparent is it is if you take a 3-month high or something, no?
Yeah.
You can make out, okay, either iske upar ja hi nahi raha.
Yeah, and then
For
green
past 6 months, it will always be within that. Peak रहता है, but after that, the stocks isn't able to sustain. That means that is when the valuation counts. So that means people have started thinking ये बहुत बढ़ गया.
Okay.
Abhi. So it's only overhyped shares which will keep on rising without valuation coming into play. Otherwise, stocks
can we
either
take,
operator stocks or overhyped stocks.
Yeah, Ashwin bhai, can we take
will keep
this
rising.
LTTS this chart here for just for identification because it's the most common stock in our group.
LTI or LTTS?
Anything, LTI or LTTS.
Okay. All right, see, again, this is a spike here. There's a spike here. Okay, so this would be a good buy zone to buy. Now, this, it has told you, is a good buy zone, right? This one, because there's a spike here.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yes.
Now you see how safe it is. Okay. Once you have bought here, the price went up. Okay, you are very happy, but it came down. But it still did not break through. Or it just broke and bounced back. So you are very safe buying at these kind of levels. Right? So right now here, obviously, you would have understood only after somewhere here that there is a buy zone which formed here. Iske baad, there was no chance of buying anywhere, but we could have bought here. So we would have actually bought only in this point of time, because this is the first time it has touched the buy zone again after being formed. Now, when you buy here, all right,
yeah,
you see hardly any volume. Okay, so but it still retains that it's not even breaking through with low volume. It is just okay. Buy zone आ गया, वापस ऊपर गया, वापस इधर touch किया, again it went up, again it just touched here, again it went up. So you would have got a chance to buy here if you didn't want to, you were not convinced or whatever it is, you wait. You would have got a chance to buy here again. You would have got a chance to buy here. But at no point of time you would have lost money.
Yes.
Ashwin sir, here
Okay.
the slope is not zero, right?
Yeah, but it's, see, the slope is very low in any case. Actually, this slope, it's a rate of change of the slope, which is that's why I said the second derivative. Yeah. But it's difficult to plot a second derivative on the chart. Okay, mathematically you can do it. The rate of change of the slope is almost zero.
Okay, the double differentiation you're talking
the
about.
Double differentiation. That is what we use usually. So, but on a chart I can't show you the second derivative. So this is the first 1D. You have to take the second difference. So this, because this is hardly changing. If you see, it's almost a straight line, right? So the second differential is going to be almost zero.
And there
So
is
the
no
slope is
volume at
not
all.
changing. Sorry?
There is no volume also. In the bottom, there is nothing.
There is no volume. That is okay. You are bothered only about when did people, what level did people buy. What it means is that big buying happened here. Okay. When the volume, when the price went up, no, there was no buyers. So the chances are very good in this stock that the price is going to come down to your level again. Okay, then you would have actually, to be very safe, you would wait here. You wouldn't buy again here. You just see, just wait and watch. Again, it went up. All right, but again without any volume. So you know for sure if the volume is not there, you can be rest assured the price will come down again. So again, there will be, I mean, there's no interest in that company. That is what it means, right? So when the no interest है वो drift down होते रहेगा. So when it came down here, you should have bought. Now you have a buy zone. You have a confirmation that this is a good buy zone. Even at low volumes, it didn't break through. So then here you should have definitely been buying LTP. And these aren't the levels that you should be buying LTP. It's too risky to buy here, somewhere here arbitrarily, just because the momentum है ऊपर जा रहा है ठीक है ऊपर जा रहा है तो क्या.
Ashwin, can you show a chart where there's a heavy high volume but it's followed by a sell zone?
Yeah, Ashwin, just on this chart.
You will have to tell me the charts because I don't look at charts at all. Yeah, I'm seeing the charts only for your. I do work or directly on the data.
Yeah, Ashwin bhai, on this chart only.
I should say you can look at
just a
Hindustan
minute.
Zinc. It had high volumes and there was a sell just 2 days ago.
Hello.
Bharti Airtel is there. If you like to have a look on that.
Sure, I can check it out.
Ashwini bhai, on this chart, I have one question. At this now present level, it is again buy zone.
Oh, let me see.
Yeah, because there's some volume increase there. Then.
See, the average of this is anyway very low.
Yeah.
See, the average volume will only be something like this.
Right.
Okay. So this is a decent zone.
This is again buy
because
zone.
Not here. This is a buy zone. It's slightly less than this.
Yeah.
So the chances of it breaking and coming somewhere here is very high. Okay, so this is the level you should actually be safely buying because there was a good buying. I mean, there was a trend reversal here, again a trend reversal here, again a trend reversal here. So even if it goes up, the chances of it coming down again and touching this is quite high.
2349.
You can wait and watch. देख लेंगे आता है क्या नहीं आता है.
350 आना चाहिए.
वो आना चाहिए. And the other zone which is there, but this is called a weak zone because it is not based on any major buying as such.
Major buying,
this
right?
place is a trend reverse हो गया वगैरह हो गया. That is when I post no weak zone है strong zone है. This is a slightly stronger zone.
Yeah,
because abhi buying is happening. Okay, and after that it has gone up. But again, when it goes up, there is no buying which happens, so it cannot sustain this. So chances are it will at least come down to this level. 480, 2480 level.
Right.
It is likely to come down here, and it is more likely to break through and touch this level, 2340 level.
Will be the sell this stock?
Sorry, this is.
What will be the sell zone in this stock?
Sell zone is here. Very obvious sell zone is there. Okay, this is an obvious sell zone. This is also an obvious sell zone because this was a previous sell zone. Okay, before that, this would have been the sell zone. Okay. Now here comprehensively the sell zone was broken. But you see what it took to break the sell zone. It took this kind of buying.
Huge buying.
That is when the sell zone broke. Otherwise the sell zone was holding on. Okay, so this is why this theory is so. And if you all want to know, this fellow used to earn some $800 per month, and he died a billionaire. So if that is some क्या उसको बोलते incentive to follow this system, you could try that.
अश्विन
Yes.
अश्विन भाई, आपने वो वल्चर इन्वेस्टिंग का कंसेप्ट इसी के बेसिस पे बनाया है, ऐसा लग रहा है।
हाँ जरूर ना, ऑब्वियसली। जब किसी को इंटरेस्ट नहीं है तब बाई करो यार।
Wonderful was.
See, whoever tells you that buy at any price and sell at any price or whatever it is, you always understand one thing: the price comes n number of times. You only will find the stocks which don't touch come down again. No, that means they are in very weak hands. वो पूरा operator driven है एक तो, which will keep going up endlessly. Adani Green जैसा, with no fundamental, nothing. It just keeps on rising on based on some bullshit hype or completely operator driven stocks. Okay, which will never sustain. The other stocks which are going up are like Intellect. Okay, that is because of some futuristic thing which is happening in that company, because of which Intellect right now the fundas don't support this price, but going forward it will definitely the fundas are good enough to support this kind of price rise. Okay, so these are the two stocks. Now Intellect is, you don't bother about buy zone and all that. You buy it any price. That is okay for it. Any dip you should buy, because it hardly dips. Let us see its chart now. ये देखो, इसमें this was the time when I told you all here when to buy. Okay, around this point. But you see the consolidation. Till here, nothing actually happened. But it was still a safe time because it never really touched after this. Okay, it never came down. But then this was the real time when that thing took off. So this was your last real great chance to buy Intellect. Now you can still go on buying. I mean, because now this is the hype. Okay, there is a lot of buying which is happening, obviously, but this looks more like retail buying. Not really the maybe this particular candle. I mean, this particular day there was these 3 days there were some institutional buyers. This definitely is institutional, because when nobody is buying it, they suddenly come and buy and make the price jump up. This is typical of Intellect, this thing buying. But then this was the buy zone. Now this buy zone कब आएगा भगवान जाने. 333 कभी नहीं आने वाला वापस. At least not in near future, right? So now this was nothing was weak buy zone for that. Now this probably just at this candle, no, here. So if it ever reaches this point again, you should think of buying it. But now this stock is something which wherever any dip you buy, now this is a good time to buy. So around 570 level वापस अगर आ गया, so you should be buying it. Hello?
Yeah, right.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so 570 के आसपास आ गया, 6 600 के आसपास आ गया तो definitely you can buy at least little quantities, you keep buying. ये तो मतलब it is at least $2,000 share. Okay, it's going to go to 2,000 in the next 1 or 2 years. So it doesn't really matter whether you buy it a little lower or a little higher, but as a rule, I'll buy it a buy zone. So these are some places where the zone theory will not work very well. At least it will not work very well. Okay, because you will miss out. It can never really come back to the zones, right? This was a zone which was formed. Kabhi wapas aaya hi nahi. At least in the recent thing, this was a zone which was formed somewhere here just before the big buying. I mean, before the retail frenzy.
Ashwin,
there was no, it has never come down to this level. It may not come down very soon. This was a level where it can come down. Definitely, I think it will come down.
And if you find out, it was like from a long term, it was like an accumulation zone. When the accumulation zone
I actually see. I am not a technical analyst. I am looking at charts. I mean, after maybe 6 months.
Yes.
Okay. So I use the data. I just need to explain to you people. You won't be able to understand from a table of data that what is happening. So and that will be too mathematical anyway.
What
So,
I mean is,
like
Moiji keeps on posting that this stock is coming out of long accumulation zone. Like that, this intellect also, it was keep on accumulating in the same level. Once the big volume comes, then all the retailer participant jump and they started buying in.
That's exactly what happens. So that is why that's precisely what this theory says.
Yes.
You buy when at the price that the big guys buy. Don't buy at the price that other retailers buy.
Yes.
Because retailers are meant only to be killed here. There is no other use of retailers in the market.
If you see, if last 3 days when they bought high volume, that time next 3 days it was fallen. But again,
so they will push it. They will push it and then wait, and then it will rise to this level. Now this is a kind of sell zone, which is happening. Today's price, but it might break through because there are green, 3 green candles after 1 red candle. So this is a very strong buy zone. Actually, this area, no, 600 rupees. Yeah, 570, 580.
So like this, we can find many stock in a small cap sector.
Exactly.
This accumulation zones.
Yeah, and these are safe levels. So don't okay. So small cap sector is always more unsafe than say whatever your big sectors. But
yes,
I don't find that just because something is 18,000 or 25,000, that doesn't mean it is a safe stock.
Okay.
The safe stock is just whether your price is safe or not. The company may be very good here. So what? Oh, the GMM touched 6,000 or whatever it touched, right? Company is superb. So what? You buy at 6,000, then are you safe? I don't know how many days or months it will take to reach 6,000 again.
Yes.
And then after touching 6,000, you still have not made any profit. You're just broken even.
Yes. And
lost money.
People will not average also over there because
yeah.
it has fallen big.
Yeah, and because it's such a high price stock, you can't really go on averaging every day or something like that.
But if we have done staggered buying, then definitely we would have average. But the people like
so
greedy
there are,
people who are
so there are some other rules which also the algo has. For example, near the 52-week high, it will not buy within 20%. Usually it is 30%. But now because the market is rising so much, I have reduced it to 20%. It will not buy in any buy zone within 20% of the 52-week.
Okay.
So that buffer is always, safety buffer is there between the high price and your price that you buy, maximum price that you buy.
Okay.
I mean, 52-week high can be broken, of course. So, sorry?
So what about the sell zones for such stock? Like, because if I would have bought something at the buy zones, so there's a ascending order basically for the price trend.
Yeah.
So my sell zones have already breached, and I would have already exhausted all the quantity, which
you won't exhaust ever the entire quantity. If you've seen that Excel sheet that I posted, it never sells the whole amount, entire amount. Okay, at 30%, 11% is sold only. So if you hold 100 shares, 11 shares are sold at 30%. That's all. Okay. Then at 70%, 22% is sold. 70 or 80% profit.
Yeah, because it's automated. I guess it has a controlled selling.
Yeah, obviously it is controlled.
Yeah.
But what happens? But you understand the concept that by just selling about 40% of the stock, okay, your rest of the 60% is free.
Right. Yes. Yes. True.
Okay, so that is what you are trying to aim at.
Yeah.
Okay, we sell at every you don't think that I have sold now I should get it at a lower price. It may not never happen. It will still go. If I had sold at this price, for example.
Okay.
Okay, or this price maybe. Now after this price, it didn't go down that much for me to start buying again. But it has never reached that price again, right? This was a sell zone.
So, sir, one more question, last question, possibly.
So now here I would have sold, here I would have sold. But now when I sold this, I have never got a chance to buy this back.
Okay.
Because ये ऊपर गया उसके and it went way above. So that's okay. You just you have booked a profit. That is fine. You have reduced your price.
So in this case, like you say that the stock is worth like, let's say 2000. So in this case, so even if we buy and hold strategy, so I know that yours is always a buy sell and reducing the cost or zero cost strategy, but we can also, for such short stocks, even a buy and hold kind of strategy also would work, right?
Yeah, but if sure shot is this thing.
Right. I mean,
how are you sure shot? I mean, I'm not a god, so I don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. Market may crash. Some war will happen against China. Anything can happen. So why are you risking your investment?
Right. Got it. Yeah, it's always better to have it at a zero or a minimum price cost.
Minimum some low cost so that your money is safe.
Sustaining power is.
And in case there is a dip, okay, just the chance that there is a dip, you always have an ability to cash in.
Right.
Otherwise, what happens is most people will have bought very high. Then because it went down, they can't sell. They have to hold.
Right.
Okay. Now, when you're getting the stock at 3,000, GMM you bought at 5,500. It has come down to 3,500. Now you should be buying more, but you don't have money to buy.
Right. Right.
So both ways, why do you have to invest fresh money every time?
Right.
Okay, so you allow the market to generate that funds for you so that you push them back into your investment. So your investment is continuously growing.
Yes, makes sense. Thank you, sir.
Ashwin sir, can we look at Viva Global as per this setup, how it looks? Is it at a good buy level right now?
Vaibhav, I don't think so. Because I have Vaibhav. So.
Okay.
It is at a weak buy zone. Actually, okay.
Okay, because there is a volume.
It has bounced off from the buy zone already. You can still buy it, I guess. Yeah. This was a buy zone, which was there. Okay. And then this thing, it is okay, but this would be a much
Probably high
safer
of
bet.
that green candle.
Yeah. This would be a better bet to buy this level, but you should be buying at this level right now. Okay. So if the market sustain now, Vaibhav is a high beta stock actually. It changes quite rapidly with the this one market. So if the market cracks, then the chances of you getting this level is very high.
Right.
Okay, but it's a, I mean, even at this is not a very unsafe level right now where it is, no? The lower end of this candle, the green candle or the red one.
Or else, let's say, if you see the big volume spike, that green candle in between, probably if it
This one, no?
high,
So that's what the bottom of this is roughly the same as this one, right? So these are good. This is a good level actually.
Right.
Decent level. I mean, it may not be 100% sustained because of there are too many reds in this.
Correct.
So strongly it has come down. So it will go up only if the market sustains this. Okay, but the buy zone theory, you should be buying at this level. It's a very, very, right now the trend may take it a little lower, but you should buy at least partially at this level, definitely.
Yeah.
The lower end of this. Then you buy again at this level, somewhere here.
Right.
Okay, under this candle, no?
Yeah.
The bottom of these three candles, which may I suck it.
Right.
So between this level and this level, I would place 2 orders.
Correct.
Then I would place some orders.
Doji, just the line you have drawn, right? Below that, there is a doji in between. If you see.
Yeah, correct.
3564 level. So that is like less than 50% of the candle size, the body.
Yeah, correct. This one.
This one, yeah. So there probably will be some unfilled orders, which probably here it can bounce back.
Yeah, I mean those theories are there. I never understood them, but
okay.
But yeah, the unfilled orders would be somewhere here. All these big guys, no? Now these fellows might have filled up because there was a very big spike here.
Right.
It has come down to the same level or roughly the same level, and then there were big spikes. So maybe they have filled up. But this guy will have some unfilled orders.
Right.
Which are likely. The only thing is at here there was no big spike. Otherwise, it has touched already. So that is why I said only partially you should be buying. It may come down still more.
Okay.
Okay, but according to the rule, you should have bought here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ashwinji, sorry for interference. Sumanji is good at buy and sell zone. He has done some courses from abroad. So he is good at buy and sell zone. So as per his knowledge, he was just suggesting of that.
Not like, I mean, that's what I studied from that Sam Seaton you mentioned, right?
Okay, good.
Only just thought of asking you, so what to know your opinion on this talk.
No, this is what I use it all the time.
No, just to confirm that whatever you are teaching, whether our thought process is aligned or not. Just to
okay. I mean, Sam Seaton's method has been, there are enough number of critics also. So everybody says that he had insider information, that's why he made so much money,
right.
Which may also be true. So I found that it's very logical. And I have not found very many cases where it is actually breached, the concepts.
Yeah.
So these are pure, these are actually the original data scientists who checked the data and then found patterns in this data.
Right.
Right. So he didn't have a formal degree in data science or anything, but just on the basis of his looking at charts and looking at price movements and all in his mind, he devised this pattern, which is what we use some fancy degrees and some GPU machines and all that, and come to the same conclusion that that fellow came maybe 50 years ago with a pen and paper. So effect what he suggests is very, I mean, it at least makes quite a lot of sense.
Right.
And the data definitely says the same thing.
Right. One more theory that I strongly follow is the relative strength. So normally I always look at stocks.
RSI, no?
Not RSI, relative strength, which basically.
Okay, what is RSI then?
I mean the stocks that are outperforming Nifty or the benchmark. So only those. So what is your thought on that?
I know. I really don't follow any technical analysis except these two
fine,
things.
No problem.
This is one, and the moving average is another.
Okay. Fine.
The only these two things. Because I actually tried it, but I get very confused. There are so many indicators, and one says yes, and one says no, and one says sideways, one says going up, one says going down.
Right.
So I need concrete data to do anything. I'm not. That is more of an artist kind of mentality has to be there for technical analysis.
Right. So relative strength is nothing but relative performance between the Nifty and the stock in last 50 or 55, let's say. So if last 55 days the stock has better than Nifty in terms of returns, so I'll only pick those stocks. And then
okay, but then that is momentum, no? Purely momentum trading. So that is easy for operators to manipulate those things.
Right.
Ashwinji, how you analyze the data then? Because see, indicators is visual and data is numbers. So
that is why second derivative and third derivative and first derivative, all those weird notions are there, right? Which for a layman will be very complex. So the pattern in the data is converted into some kind of pattern. Okay, and that is converted into an equation, and then when that equation is some Fibonacci series, I mean Fourier transform. So based on those patterns, if that pattern repeats, then the data will follow the same. It will be equivalent to what you see in the chart.
So data you extract or how, like because
yeah, data is I see now. This one, that's why I said you have scratched just the surface of this. Okay. This is the data.
Okay.
Actual physical data. All right. Now I can convert this to a per second. Intraday per day. One tick. All right. Okay. So this is a 1 day chart. Now if I see this data, okay, for every second I will get the data. This is a fantastic system. Trade Tiger is just unbelievable.
Okay, so you
what
have
all
developed,
you can do.
So you have developed your algo based on this data, like
yeah, that's why I say that Trade Tiger. I require Trade Tiger because most of the things are
okay. Right, because to develop something we need, because see, looking into the different script of charts, it is very time consuming to identify the support and all the levels. So data is always quick if we develop such a system.
Now here I can just put a stop, and my sell zone will be here. See now, when I create this, okay, I can just draw it on the chart and the order is created automatically.
Okay.
Yeah, all the stop loss, everything is fed in because this is what I've fed in here, right?
But you must doing this offline because data
Yeah, I
analysis.
don't do all this anyway, but I'm just trying to tell you how many features are there in Trade Tiger. Nothing else is anywhere comparable. I use a lot of international software also because for the US trading and all that. So even they do not match this. Say Interactive Brokers or Ameritrade or something. The systems are good, but there's nothing comparable to this. At least I have not seen. There might be, but I have not really seen anything.
Not even Trading View?
I don't know. I have not used Trading View, but I don't think so. The features are endless here, limitless in this. See, there is something called Ignite, which is not there in Ravin's EA. So his account doesn't have. So those are another whole set of features that I can draw by zones. I can just mark them in red and this thing. I can just place orders from every buy zone, every sell zone automatically through Trade.
And if not wrong, in Ignite, sir, you would get buy zones and sell zones automatically.
Yeah, you get automatically the algorithmic trading module tells you that because the buy zone is approaching, sell zone is approaching.
Yes. In fact, I would. Someone just asked about Trading View. I would just want to because I also use Sharekhan very actively the way you do, and I've been using it since many years now. So Trading View has got limitations for the free version, and Trade Tiger has also got inbuilt screeners just which can help you tell stocks with high volumes, high open interest, low open interest, and all of it. So it's a wonderful software. We also have a franchisee of Sharekhan, so it's something that I really appreciate. I've used also a lot of other softwares like Ashwinza, but Sharekhan is something I feel has got wonderful features. And just want to add about Goldium, sir. They have been, as I'm also related to the jewelry industry, and Goldium is just like 2 blocks away from the place I sit. So I know the management, etc. And also for Weber Global. So, jewelry industries is something where I'm connected with. Goldium has done fantastic business last year, and they had a lot of orders for JCPenney, etc. So the annual result is something that we really expect much better.
Yeah, some spectacular results was expected.
Yeah, so just wanted to share that with the group and for the benefit of everyone. So yeah, that's it, sir. Thank you.
Now this is one shady company. इसका क्या हो गया? Guys, download नहीं हुआ है. Oh, sorry.
It is 1 minute, no? So it is.
Yeah. अभी इसका अगर you try to make some sense out of this, I don't know. I would definitely buy somewhere here. Okay, and nothing here. This is a good buy.
Ashwinji, we love to buy at bottom levels, but these operators or the price jackups, they never let price to fall.
Says who, yeah? Then how did it fall from year to year?
Just to trap some people.
They trapped them here. They are not interested in you buying anything here.
Yes,
They are interested in you buying here. Okay. So they sold to you here. Okay. If you buy here, then you become an operator.
Yes.
You buy here and you sell here.
I always target at the bottom. By the wait patiently.
This is a good buy zone. I mean, it might be a shady company. It doesn't matter. That's what I've also told you many times. The price is more important than how good the company is.
Yes.
Okay.
So, however, Adani is becoming rich Next 3 years.
So if you believe
all
that
shady
you
companies.
should buy at any price, then place an order at upper circuit for every company that you buy, regardless of what the price is. Because anyway, you should buy at the highest price possible. Right?
No, again, new company is coming. Adani, Wilmar.
Adani Wilmar is a very old company. Postman,
Okay.
oil,
Okay.
tail. And just see, the tail prices have become double.
Okay.
You buy Vijay Solvex right now, I'm telling you. Buy Vijay Solvex, buy any of those, whoever is listed in this space.
Okay.
Okay. You just see the retail prices of oil.
Okay.
I mean, wholesale prices actually doubled from 80 bucks to something 60 rupees or 55 rupees. It has become almost 120.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, why it is very difficult to sell Vijay Solvex. Even I am putting order of selling 25 shares.
अरे that is a painful company यार. वो इतना छोटा सा ये float है.
25
So why do
shares
you want to
means
sell it?
Just I'm just
Sell
trying
it when
to
people want to buy it. Yeah, don't sell it when nobody is interested.
Okay.
So just sit on it. You will make double money in. अभी देख लो ना ये let the results come out. They were sitting on huge inventories because of all this COVID and all that, and now prices have doubled straight up. So they're just making a lot of money for nothing.
Has anyone used AMI Broker here? How is the view
The
on
AMI Broker is a purely technical software. See, AMI Broker is meant for something different. Okay, you do a lot of technical analysis. You should be using AMI Broker. You can't use these kind of tools for tech. You can do certain things, but it's not a specialized technical software. So AMI Broker or something else. Guys, it's 12 o'clock. Huh? Those who want to drop off can drop off because I anyways sleep very late. So I'm okay continuing the call.
I'll be there, Ashwinji. However, recording will be happening, so we can share the recording also.
Yeah. So anyway, what I was saying is, even in a company which is as operator driven and as overhyped as any Adani group, you will still find safe buy zones to buy.
Okay.
Okay, like this one seems to be a safe at around 73, 72, whatever level.
Okay.
It is a safe zone. It is very unlikely it will crack too much from here.
Yes.
The next safe zone is here.
Mm.
Somewhere here. Because this is the place where there was a peak.
Okay.
So this was a huge peak, but यहाँ पे तो कभी आने वाला ही नहीं. So there's no point in looking at such low buy zones.
Okay.
Another COVID or something has to come, then it will come down to these levels.
Some negative news.
Not just negative news, some catastrophic news.
अश्विन सर, इसमें आप वो SMA45 डाल के उसके रिलेशन में बाई जोन ये करो ना एक बार. SMA45 डाल के, मतलब अगर SMA45 डाल के आप विथ रेफरेंस टू दैट SMA आप बाइंग जोन कैसे डिसाइड करोगे इसमें?
See, here, I mean, roughly it's the same level, but here, because this is a peak,
right.
See, the average would not be very high in this case. Other than this peak, there's no, if you take a long-term average, it is hardly going to be somewhere here. Okay, so here would be one peak where, again, the slope is almost flat, right? Here now, this is a decent buy zone, this one, but the slope is not flat by any chance, stretch of imagination. So that means this is not really a strong buy zone. The chances of it coming down much beyond this is very low, because the difference is too high. 108 से लेके 70, 75 itself is almost 40% drop, right? So it will not crack much more than this. And the next buy zone is too low down. Next buy zone is here.
Yes.
After this to this. So you would probably be good buying here and then buying here. But strictly, if you look at it, oh shit. What? If you go strictly by the theory, you would buy only here. When
50
the
to
slope
53 के आसपास.
हाँ. But वो तो practical नहीं है अभी.
So could you please explain again, despite of high volume, why is it a weak buying zone?
Because there is
The
no
candles
real
are green.
No. This slope is not. It's not changed. It's actually a trend which is. It's just a technical correction. This one.
Okay.
It's a technical pullback. Really, the
Yeah.
trend is very strongly up. Okay, so this was a technically at that point of time this was something which may have made sense. थोड़ा नीचे आ गया.
And our
But
average
the
line is also not
chances
flat.
are
That
not.
is
Yeah, that is the chances that it will again bounce back from here is not guaranteed. Okay, if it actually touches this, it may not bounce back. It may still come down. So that is why it's called a weak zone. Okay,
Yeah.
there was a pullback from here, but it was more of a technical correction, not the real trend is continuously up only. Right?
Yeah.
But here it's different. Here there was consolidation and then some big buying happened which pushed up the stock. Right? Now here this is more of retail guys. All Adani stocks are going up, and then there was some mention somewhere in some report that they have made more money than Elon Musk has got, and something. So they generally tamam public कर जाते हैं. So if there is a sustained fall, for example, this guy is going to come all the way back to here.
Right.
That is almost guaranteed. यहाँ तक तो आएगा ही. यहाँ तक. If there is a continuous, if the markets are down, say 10%, 15%, no, some break like that happens, it आराम से will come down all the way. So it's your call. If you want to take a chance here, you can take. Otherwise, you wait till here. But then you might have to wait a real long time.
Yeah.
But if Adani Power or whatever this is going to be one of your long-term buys, which you want to hold for a very long time, then this is the level you should be buying. See, when you're a momentum trader, buying here and selling here makes great sense. Okay, you can buy at this point and then sell at this point because anyway you're keeping it for 1 month or 2 months, or not even 1 month, 1 week, or maximum 1 day or 1 week, whatever. But if you're planning to keep it for the next 10 years, it is almost guaranteed that वो नीचे गिरने वाला ही है from this level. When you were here, you should have known that.
Yeah.
There's no way a company which rises like this is going to sustain this level for the next 5 years or 10 years. It's just not possible. So if you don't have any intention of selling, you are going to buy and hold, you will always buy it. This is one argument which I have never understood. For me, if you're a technical buyer, you will buy at any cost. If you're a fundamental buyer, you will always buy low. Because if you're a fundamental buyer and you have a long-term vision, you're going to hold a stock for 10 years, there's guarantee that price is going to be much lower than whatever you buy right now in a booming market. There is no time ever in the history of Indian or any other stock market where 10 years there has been no drop of more than say 25%. From the 10-year high, the stocks have never come down 30% below the 10-year. The data just is not there anywhere. You show me and anybody can show me any country anywhere in the world where stocks have risen continuously without falling for 10 years in a row. Or even, I mean, 3 years, 4 years होगा शायद, but 10 years वगैरह तो impossible है.
So how long should we wait before we sell?
See, you should wait till you're comfortable. If you're comfortable holding it, there's no problem. You don't sell.
Okay.
For me, see, 18 months is according to the data. There is a 10% drop every 18 months. There is a 10% correction. Since 1990, there has been 31 corrections of 10% or more. Okay, so there is absolutely no way in which within the next 1.5 years there is going to be no correction, because the data doesn't support it. One-off case hoga 18 months ke it is 24 months without a drop. That is possible, but it doesn't happen really. So if you are going to anyway get if you are holding for long term and then within some time you are going to get it for much less than you bought it right now, then why don't you wait? So the same way selling also, you are going to get it at much less in 18 months and you're going to sell it at a kind of peak in the duration of 18 months. There's going to be a peak and there's going to be a fall, right? So anything that you see, there is a long duration at time when there is a peak. This was Adani Power. This one, no, this line would have probably been Adani Power's selling point at this point of time. When it broke, it required a huge amount of buying to break it, much above the average. So then you're selling, you don't know when. Right now, there is no formation. This could be one. This could have been one. This could have been one. These are the cell zones which are formed. This is one and this is one. Okay, but we don't know whether this is, I am not sure that these are all weak things, because this might go from here and break through and go still further. So unless unless you see this pattern forming, then only you will know that there is a cell zone. Till then, it is just chance, laga or laga. I mean, you might have thought that abhi bahut ho gaya, I will sell at this point, for example, and then found that another 20 rupees it went up where you sold. So that is why sell part. And if you are keeping it for long term, you generate some free shares, then you don't bother, then you don't look at this chart again. और डिविडेंड मिल रहा है, ये मिल रहा है, ठीक है, चलने दो. कभी बोनस देगा, कभी कुछ और देगा, स्प्लिट हो जाएगा. You'll keep on making your money.
Do you also follow patterns like cup and handle or those similar patterns?
Oh, I never understood them, honestly. I understand the straight line patterns. That is all okay. Means within a channel. This is like within a channel or trade kar raha hai, and then there is a breakout. That anyway I follow. But वो बाकी के जो handle patterns है वो समझ में नहीं आया. One more pattern which is definitely there, which actually this theory that second top, double bottom, triple top, triple bottom. All these are actually what marks buy zone and sell zone.
Okay.
And you are looking for a specific pattern, but I don't look for a specific pattern. I look for a level, a band, where it may not be exactly where to the Naya Paisa it will go and touch that and go up and all that. But a rough band where it has gone up and down between this band and this band for a long time. From December to March, 4 months, it was trading in this narrow band. So the algo would have sold here, bought here, sold here, bought here, sold here, bought here, sold here. वो करते रहते हैं. When you have a system like that, time pass चालू रहता है उसका. Every time the price drops by 5%, it buys a little bit. When it goes up by 5%, it sells. At 10% arbitrage में एक share free मिलता है. बहुत खुशी से it keeps on playing like that. I posted that thing. I think for Naveen Florin and one more something. If you all want any, I can show you how it plays. Goldium bolo, neither intellect bolo. जो कुछ. That every day generates some features.
Sir, what about alternate investments like gold, REITs? So because I remember that you gave a call out on buying gold at a particular time last year, and also mentioning you entering into right space somewhere 6 months around. So how do you track for those avenues? Do you follow a similar
there I do
pattern
not follow these kind of pattern, but again the
as a
zones are
trend?
there. Yeah, the trend, more than I don't follow trends there. That is
Okay.
only for hedging.
Yeah,
The
right.
main
But
investment is all stocks only. Okay, so that is only hedging. When I see too much of uncertainty is there, then that is just a mitigation of this.
But then do you hedge on a regular basis, or only because it's like you said that
Very, very
the
regularly, very, very regularly. But I hedge
Okay, and
using those puts, no, far out of the money puts. Or
Yes.
₹2, ₹3 ka something like that.
And hedge coverage is also pretty much like 100%. I mean, because generally for
No,
like
no, no,
hedging
it's
in
not.
gold,
It's not 100%.
necessarily. Okay.
25, 30. The hedging actually happens because the shares are free. So the auto hedging is anyway there. So the cost of the portfolio is not very high. The core portfolio. I'm not saying the trading portfolio. The core portfolio, the cost is not very high. At
The
any point
cost
of
is
time.
not high, sir, but then the loss of profit, I mean, hedging for loss of profit is all, I mean, so do you do that or only for cost
No,
hedging
I
for
only do cost because I'm 100% sure that it will bounce back. Okay, and I don't have any this thing of going and selling that immediately.
Okay.
Okay, and loss of profit is you will know if you know the value of your portfolio, right? Once it is zero, why are you bothered? What is the value?
But then isn't optimizing on the profits also necessary? Like, I mean, I know that, I mean, if it's
I
cost free,
don't
you
do.
can
I
hold it
mean,
unlimited.
I don't do myself. Then it becomes a hoard, buy and hoard. No, I'm essentially a buy and hoard person.
Okay.
I only went through 4 major falls, so I try to mitigate the risk.
Right.
But I'm not a short-term trader in that sense. I trade only to reduce the cost.
Okay. Got it.
So all my original, whatever I hold, HDFC Bank and all that, bought in 96 or something of that, 97.
Okay.
Still holding that.
Ashwin sir, can you, sorry, may I ask something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you look at charts like Pidilite or Syngin, and what does that show? Because Pidilite is something that I've seen has got just very good range as of now, and the nearby stop loss would be somewhere around 1650. If it is like a good support level from where it could bounce back. and I entered it in Pidlet at somewhere around 1730 a couple of days ago. And it's more at the resistance right now. So, on monthly charts, it looks like
it's at a sell zone right now.
Yeah.
It's almost 100%. I mean, it's almost exactly at the sell zone.
Yeah, but then does your algo or something also gives the probability of a breakout or something like that, or no?
No. See, I would definitely buy this.
Because if you look at the monthly chart, it looks really attractive.
See, I would buy it here. This is a weak buy zone. Okay. And this is a strong buy zone. This level, this green candle which is there, no?
Right.
This one. This green candle.
Got that.
The base of that is very, very good buy zone. So I would buy it here. And anyway, if this is the 52-week high, I won't buy within 20% of this.
Okay, yeah,
That
that's
buffer
what I
in
was
any
trying
case.
to say.
So
Okay.
yeah, so that the nearest buy zone within 20% is what
Okay.
I'll go and buy for.
Okay, so
like
20% is the range that you follow.
Yeah, at least 20% from the 52-week high. If you all are part of many of you all are part of Gupta Ji's group, right? So he has a 25% limit of if it comes down within 25%, he sells. If it comes down within 25%, then only I buy.
Okay.
So we have a different concept. I mean, strategies are different.
All right,
But,
I got that. No, I'm
otherwise,
not part of the group. It is just that I trade individually and I trade the accounts that we have in our system. So
see here, this is another decent buy zone. This one.
I got that. Yeah.
Then this one is a decent buy zone. Nice. These things too for buying. Levels are there available for buying. This would be a weakish level. I am not very convinced about this.
Okay.
And right now, I would be selling this, at least partially.
But how to capture the breakthrough? So basically, now currently it is a selling zone based on the past history. However, if there's a big volume come, there might be a breakout also. So how
Yeah,
does
there could
you
be.
identify the breakout?
Sorry?
So how do you identify the breakouts?
But then again, it will support level with high volumes, no? So automatically it will get into that support and buying zone. Then there will be formation.
Support and buying zone. That is one thing. Second thing is when it breaks out, usually the slope is never zero.
Okay.
So that is what will tell you that this is not a time to buy. Now let's plot it. Let's see.
Right. So if you apply that 45 thing average here, simple moving average, so will that slope give you an idea whether it is,
Let's see. I don't know. I'm not tracking this to regular basis.
Ashwin sir, I really appreciate the time and effort that you really share with all of us here. Heartfelt gratitude for it. And, just as a token of appreciation or gratitude, I can just offer all that I know to share if anyone wants. So, it may be share Khan trade tiger, which obviously you can do it very well. But if in case you're occupied or something, I can just help you share that with.
Please do help anyone who is interested in going with Sherkan. You could assist them, I guess.
Yeah.
One more here, so this part again. Now this is interesting because this is zero. Okay.
Yes.
So at this point of time, it means that the sell zone is quite prominent. It's quite comfortably you are in a sell zone. Now here you are going up again.
Right.
Chances are that it's not really a strong trend up. So the breakout would have happened. This I can understand as a breakout. Somewhere like this, when the slope is so high, so steep.
Got that.
Coming up and going up like this. This is a definite breakout.
Yeah.
So the second derivative would be flat here. See, it would have been flat here. Okay. And then you see the way it has taken off. how it has moved up from year to year. So the second derivative is strongly positive. That is when it marks that the breakout is going to happen.
Correct. Also, if you could just look quickly at Syngin. I know it's 12:30. Sorry, but then I just want to, since you are looking at it, probably the last talk from my side.
Wow. Now this is, I don't know how many follow. I've always been telling you that this is a very overhyped stock. Okay. This is a very good buy zone.
Exactly. So because
this is a very, very safe buy zone to buy, but I don't know whether it will come down here. This is a weak buy zone. So there was a trend reversal. It went up quite a bit from here, but there is no real great buying which happened. It might have just happened because generally everything moved up, so it moved up. So this will not be honored, this buy zone, and that is what happened here, right? So you did break through because this was not a very strong buy zone. यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा buying हुआ गया है, which is more than the average, but no real big buying has happened in this. So it means that this is a retail stock. Okay. So just this was okay. Some big guys bought here. They pushed up the price. They let the retailers take it from there. They might have by here you can see continuous selling is happening.
Yes.
So around this level will be your sell zone. Somewhere here and above that, one more. Yeah, this would be your sell zone. This stock. And your buy zone, the honest buy zone is here. Here or here, maybe. I mean, you could take this, but this is a risky thing. It would actually be somewhere here. You should probably, this was an aberration. It went down below this. But I would suggest this roughly, let's see. Yeah, so the big buying has started here. So this is more like a retail frenzy.
Yeah, you're right. There's a group called Purankara in Pune. So they are PMS consulting, that's group, and they manage funds, etc. So they are the ones who had given a buy call around 495, and from there you gap up at 525.
Okay.
So yeah.
So this is a typical operator stock. I mean, pardon me for using that term, but it's more like somebody is telling you to buy it, so people buying it, but there is no conviction anywhere here.
Yes.
Okay, that I can't see anything.
Sir, hi, this is Bhavik from this side. If you could have a look at charts of Alembic Limited.
That is one of my favorite stocks.
Same here, and that way I hold my highest position there.
कितना हो गया अभी?
Somewhere around 102.
Okay, it's come back to that. 113, 115 कुछ हो गया था ना?
हाँ, 119 का हाई बना.
Oh wow. Okay. This is a definite buy zone. 98, 99.
Correct. So again, my average, I hold a large.
How many times this is 1, 2, 3. So all over. Okay.
But I don't see the deviation.
See
larger deviation on a time frame basis and even price basis.
Price, see, 100 rupee stock, if it moves up 10 rupees, it means 10% gain. So those stocks are not going to, I mean, in a small time frame, but you see the buying here.
Yes.
Okay, so these levels, if it ever comes to, you just blindly just dump something and buy because you're going to get a killing. You're going to make a killing.
Yeah, so
At
my
this level,
average is
85 levels, no?
yeah. So my average is somewhere around 67.
Cool.
I hold around 5,000 pieces, and it's the levels I'm looking for buying is of course 98 to 102 is the buy zone.
90. I would buy it around 98, not more
yes,
than.
yes. Then lower between 78 to 82. And uske niche I don't think it will ever go.
And everything will go here. You don't take tension मत ले लो. सब कुछ नीचे जाता है, सब कुछ ऊपर जाता है.
No, sir, but I think fundamental story is developing and promoters
that
are
is true.
buying.
See, this is one level. It tallies with your 78 level. This is one more level. Okay. So now this would be your 82. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, 82.
Yeah, absolutely. And then 98, 97, 98, because
correct. Yeah.
That seems to be a good level.
Yeah, so I mean, this was researched by me. This was like I just wanted a validation that my understanding or the interpretation is correct.
At least either we are two great minds that think alike or two fools that don't.
No, sir. I mean, I have been tracking this stock since it got demerged from Alembic Pharma.
Limited.
Yeah, and I am kind of a funda guy, so.
ये तो अच्छा stock है, but it is not
₹4 stock.
But it is not a spectacularly ऊपर जाएगा नीचे जाएगा ऐसा कुछ नहीं.
नहीं वैसा नहीं है.
No, you see the strength in the buying. No? So if you have something like this, that means this is a fantastic support. So whatever it is, 20% के नीचे, you are not going to go. As you are saying, So you're not going to have a drop of more than 20%, which I am not, which even Honeywell doesn't guarantee you.
Correct.
Because those are overhyped stocks. They can fall even 25-30%. This stock is just not. These stocks are much more safer.
Yes.
Because
even
they will
MRF
not.
And they have come down quite a bit.
Yeah, they do come down. It is just a myth that just because it's high priced, it never comes down. Ulta, they give you much. They bounce back very fast. That's definitely there.
They have the beta, and this is a kind of a defensive stock.
This is a defensive stock.
It is debt free. It has three
Yeah.
businesses. It has investment income, it has real estate income, and API income. And probably I look to hold it for long term. And this is a wealth story, I feel.
Yeah. This is आराम से. Even I hold quite a bit. So ये तो आराम से just ये chewing gum रहता है वो algo के लिए. 100 के नीचे आ गया बाय करता है 115 के ऊपर सेल करता है 112 के. Again it will buy at this, buy sell. It keeps on doing it.
So even I follow that staggered thing. I mean, my trading quantity is different from the core portfolio quantity.
Yeah, core portfolio holding quantity should be different. Trading should be used to reduce that holding quantity.
Correct. So yeah, we got a demerged share and dividends and all that. So that is all different. But I look forward for this story to turn out.
Yeah, this will be a good company.
Thank you.
Sir,
hello.
I have one question. How to set up this algo? What you are talking about?
No, that is what our plan is for tomorrow.
Okay.
So what we'll do is I'll show you how to set it up using Excel.
Okay.
That's a simple file. No great, no programming, no API call, nothing. No VBA programming also. Sharekhan allows you to actually put orders through through Excel also. But there is a simpler option in Sharekhan. The other problem is with API trading, you need a 25 lakh margin to be maintained in your account at all points of time. Okay, so it may not be viable for some people, and I don't know the demographic this thing of everybody, but I know there are my own juniors are there and all that. They definitely don't trade 25 lakhs. So, so for them, there is a direct method where you can load 150 orders in say something like half a minute or so. Okay, so for them, for all of you, you could always use that. It will still automate a lot of your work instead of punching in orders manually for a long time, spending 1 hour. You could use that 1 hour doing some research like this, trying out new things, and then punch in the orders automatically. You just upload a file.
Manually to track these many stocks is not possible.
That see, all these tools give you a portfolio, give you your holding statement, वो सब automatically anyway हो जाता है. So you don't, I don't understand what people say manually track करना impossible है वगैरह. Quarterly, okay, quarterly results if you want to track or something like that. Probably, yeah, there is a problem.
So sending us that Excel also, right? That is a very good Excel, I think.
Which one? The valuation report?
Yes, those companies.
Those are the companies which are relatively safe. Okay, so the ones which are undervalued are the ones which you would probably get a good return from. And anyway, I've shown you how it works. So out of the 22 scripts in that which we have shown, which we have said all Kachra stocks, all under 100 rupees, everyone has given 400 to 600% appreciation. And I'm not saying since March or something. Saying since June when the algo actually started buying those stocks.
Okay, and Ashwin sir, will you be showing your setup or setup like?
No. That is too complex.
Okay.
I just show you a very simple thing. I just want everybody to be able to do it. वो फायदा क्या है? I mean, you want to see it, I can show you. But I want you all to be able to do whatever I am doing with using just simple one Excel sheet and Trade Tiger ka upload. There is a Trade Tiger upload button. I'll show you that.
Okay.
Okay. You say tools, bulk order. Okay. So now here you just have to select whatever it is, and you say load file. I'll tell you how to load the file. Okay, you just say load file, tuck, all the orders go in. Finish. In every file, you can load 150 orders, and you can load as many files as you want. But in one file, there can be only 150 orders.
Okay. But when we load, so all the orders will be triggered, or it will wait for the price to come?
No. The order, see, order is up to you. No, you load your order. So if you put a limit order, obviously it will wait. If you put a this thing order, then no.
Okay.
I mean, if you put your limit order, it will wait for the price to come. If you put a market order, obviously it will instantly execute. But you can order whatever price you want. There's an order price, right? Order price is there, trigger price is there. You can put a basket order in this. You can put a trailing stop loss. You can do all sorts of things.
Okay.
And everything automated. No, 2 minutes, 150 orders in the system. So उसका क्या advantage? The biggest advantage is you can actually stagger it you have a rough idea with your technical analysis or your zone theory or blah blah blah, whatever it is, that it will come to say your price is the zone is at 100 rupees, so you order at 100. Okay, so instead of that, in Excel you just drag and drop that amount. You can make it 100, 99, 98, 97, 96, 95. And instead of 100 at 100, you can put 10 at 99, 10 at 98, 10 at 97. You can't do this manually because how much typing will you do? But ये इसमें आराम से कर सकते हैं. Because the stock price doesn't know the zone theory, right? It has not learned that it is supposed to exactly at 100, it is supposed to reverse.
Yes.
It may reverse at 100, it may reverse at 99, it may reverse at 98. You can actually put orders at every level that you want. And these are open tools, no cost. It's freely available to everybody who uses Trade Tiger can use this. There's absolutely no limit on. I mean, how many orders
What
you can
time
place.
you will be explaining this?
Tomorrow same time, 10:30.
Okay.
10:15 I can maximum make it 10:15. But it will most probably be 10:30.
Okay, then for this, I would have to first find some broker who can, give me
शेखर इधर ही बैठा है ना अपने इसमें.
discount brokerage, because if I am buy sell, then it should not be that I am doing 10 rupees and I am also paying 5 rupees for that.
हाँ, अभी थोड़ा सा ये हो गया है, problematic हो गया है because of all that nonsense that they've started pledging of shares and all that. नहीं तो previously the algo used to work only on share count margin.
Oh, okay.
So even if he takes 10%, मेरे को क्या दिखाता है, उसका ही पैसा उसका ही लगाता है, और उसके ही पैसे पे मेरे को 90% मिलता है, उसको 10% मिलता है, मैं भी खुश हो भी खुश.
Yes.
But now it is different because that all those new stupid rules have come.
In your Excel order sheet, so like your algo generate that sheet or you have to prepare that sheet?
No. Algo generates. I'm a very lazy person. I don't know.
Okay.
Sir, what about cyclical stocks? Like, for example, HEG, do you still hold
HEG.
them or you have just HEGs?
No. I exited HEG long time ago.
Exhausted. So your algo also has a strategy, right, for exhausting.
Huh, cyclical because it's see, it is basically is a data mining software. Right? So you see Tata Steel, we'll see Tata Steel. Very typical cyclical stock.
So even free shares also, sir, you existed like from such
From this one?
HEG.
HEG is not a long-term this thing for me. So I
If
won't
the
keep
cost
it.
is zero and it's a good dividend paying, I mean, I'm just curious that still you don't hold it for long term.
Not because of that, because it's a long term is okay. You're holding it, but the long term, the valuation model has to support that also.
Okay.
So I don't hold all stocks which I want. Uska HEG of course falls in many of the parameters that is there for long term. For example, NP to EQ is very high, which is one of my key ratios that I require it to have. So all those things are there, but its consistency is not there. So it's not consistently profitable.
Okay.
So wherever it is consistently profitable, those companies, HDFC Bank is, for example, very obviously very part of core portfolio. So now that one, those are the kind of companies which will be there in the core portfolio.
Okay.
So once it goes into the zero thing, it has to be a wealth preserver. It need not be a wealth generator. All those are part of the trading portfolio.
And what about PSUs? Because generally PSUs are said to be the wealth destroyer kind of. They have that stigma around them.
I have plenty of them, and I'll swear by NMDC, BL, IOCL. Okay, of course, the government tries very hard to destroy them, and it will continue to try. Every single government has tried their best to damage the PSUs. But I actually started working with many of the PSUs for Indian Oil, for example. And then I was very pleasantly surprised. I also had this notion that they are all Kachras companies and all corrupt people are there and all that sort of thing. It was totally different, you know. I mean, everybody used to come on Saturdays, Sundays to work because new technology they wanted to learn. I was found that in most of the, you try getting a guy in Hindustan Lever to come on Saturday.
Right.
You know,
And
it's almost
especially if your
impossible.
cost is zero, especially if the cost is zero to hold them, then there's no.
Yeah, there's
but
no
then
problem.
I don't know, they're looked down upon, like in case somebody holds them in the portfolio. So whether they're worth then holding for a long time.
See, if you want your money to grow, okay, you have to be a little. They're dicey company. I'll put you because it's. I used to never. I never held PSUs. I never held sugar stocks because of two things. One is government policy and monsoon. So those are the two of the most unpredictable things in Indian economy, right?
Right. Yes.
So the poor sugar industry is affected by both. At least the other companies, PSUs and all are affected only by one government policy. But the sugar industry is affected by both the monsoon as well as government policy. So it usually has the worst of both worlds. But there are certain times when you buy sugar stocks. Like recently, I was buying continuously. I used to keep ID Parry. Now it's kind of peaked. Okay, another. I mean, it will peak now. So at that point of time, exit these stocks. Don't hold too many cyclical stocks for too long.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
See, ultimately for me, that NP to EQ ratio is what counts. So anyone which has NP to EQ above 20, I will continue to hold always.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, anything else? Actually, we digress too much. I wanted to cover some other things. But
it's 1 o'clock.
Yeah. No, at least is this clear and does it make sense? Both things are important. Or do you think it's all nonsense? I'm okay if you need to tell me that.
We can never think
I
it's
have no
nonsense.
issues
You've
here.
got great experience in that, and you've been doing wonderful with it. So I'm sure none of us would think it's nonsense, and it's something really good to hear from your experience and learn from it.
Actually, for new journeyers, it looks like something it's happening out of mind. But later on, once they start saying, then it looks good for them also. As we have been into a group for 3 years plus, and we are seeing all the buying and sell zones.
Would just want to add, since you have Tata Steel chart on the screen, would just want to share something here that I also observe stocks and data, like a couple of stocks. So SBI, for example, has got, so I have taken SBI data from 2000 till 2020, July. And it gives, and like from all the iterations, I've figured out an average move. So the maximum move it would give in a day would be 8 to 9 rupees.
Yeah.
Yeah, just sharing with the group so people understand. So a maximum move that it would give on an average day, average price would be around 8 to 9 rupees. The minimum would be 3 rupees, and before it jumps to 8 to 9, you would see a move of 5 rupees. So that is the kind of momentum it would generally follow. So that itself, if you see that pattern forming, you can very well expect it to go up higher or lower. So, and also since it moves only 3 to 5 rupees, it's also a good stock to sell options. I mean, whoever does derivatives, etc. So that can also be useful. And just
wonderful.
Yeah, and also just for Tata Steel, if you, sir, if you would just scroll on the left on the daily chart or even weekly is fine. You see that you would have cycles in Tata Steel wherein every 2 years, probably it would just go down to around 230 to 400 levels. And from there, it would spike again up to 750.
Yeah. That's why I've when I was posting that buy Tata Steel, it's because of this. Every 2-3 years you will make 3x comfortably.
Yeah, and that's very comfortable. It's a very consistent pattern. And I've been trading Tata Steel since many years on the same pattern now.
And I would tell everybody that whenever people start saying that Tata is crap and all that, go and buy it. All Tata companies. The minute everybody starts saying they are all crap and they are all nonsensical and all that, comfortably you can buy it.
And also to me, I mean, Tata Consumer looks attractive. I've been in the script since 520 odd levels. So just sharing it. So whoever thinks it's interesting, and even Ashwin sir can have a look and share his comments.
I don't have it because one of the few Tata companies which I don't own.
Any specific reason, sir?
I would just say it has always been overvalued according to my algo. So
okay.
Because the algo does the trading, it says that it's overvalued, it will not buy.
Okay, all right, fine.
That's the only reason. I mean, there's
I
no
bought
other.
around 250 levels.
Wow.
Squared off half the quantity. Now I have 3 shares.
Super.
And the half quantity that I squared off was around 500 levels, 520.
Wonderful. Yeah.
So
that's okay. Don't worry about. I would have got 800 if I had waited. That is all theoretical, hypothetical. When you are selling, it is hypothetical that it's going to. You don't know whether it's going to reach 800 or go back to 250, right?
Right.
So when you are getting it, make best use of whatever you have.
Yeah, I got 100% return. So now it's the free quantity. Happy with it.
That's very nice.
Ashwinji, like for the long term, what are the fundamental we should consider to select any stock? Like
I can tell you what I consider.
Yeah, please. That is what.
Every single CA will tell you it's nonsense. Okay, for me, the most important thing is the net profit to equity ratio.
Okay. NP
okay, so if the equity is 1 crore, if the company is making 10 crores, all right, it is much better than a company which is making 1 crore profit on a 1 crore equity. I mean, 100 crore profit on a 100 crore equity. Just because after giving the shareholders whatever their true returns and everything, the company has not much left to plow back into the business, to add more, to take advantage of some new technology, or to take advantage of new. So that when a company is making far in excess of its shareholding as profits, the amount of new things that it can try out may not be successful, but at least they have the money to try out and take advantage of opportunities that come. If you make only 10, see, a company which makes 1 crore profit on 1 crore equity, and some other company makes 10 crores profit on 100 crores equity. Right, so that it is 10 times more profitable, but that doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
That when you are trying to service that equity, it's so high that you're not going to be able to really give returns. The returns are then only high. Okay, the operators push that stock up or somebody else pushes the stock up. That is why. But if you have a high NP to EQ and a low P, that combination is just unbelievably good.
Okay, low P and high. Okay.
NP to EQ. Okay. And that it is repeated. For example, you saw with Marksons, you saw with that crazy company there, no? Sri Jagdamba. Polymer. 32 equity, the profits is 32 times the equity. Okay, and the stock went up from less than 100 to say 500 something. Because when the market rises, these things get their true value. Okay, so now I'm not going to tell you to buy Jagdamba, but when I told you to buy Jagdamba, you should have bought it. And minted money. Of course, you wouldn't have bought it even if you tried to buy. Okay, that was a problematic share. But say Goldium, for example, 6 times, 7 times if it's making its profits. All right, Goldium, I don't know. I think it's 3 only, but even 3 times this thing. Then they invested in some diamond, artificial diamond startup. So you have that play around, not to do that. If you're just going to either otherwise you don't pay dividends, you don't do anything much because you've got such a big bloated equity. Like what happens to LTFS? That L&T Financial Services. So that is typical. A bloated equity is whatever it does, even if however much it grows and all that equity will swallow everything up.
So, for just as you said, for NP to EQ ratio, your favorable benchmark is 20.
No, for holding forever.
Yeah.
As long as the company is above 20, I will not. It is automatically part of core portfolio.
Okay. And what is the benchmark for the PE? Like it should be less than industrial PE, or is there any number?
Nothing like that. My benchmark for PE is ridiculous. Don't worry.
Okay.
See, I have, according to me, I will hold for long term only under 18.
Under
18. 18.
Okay.
Okay, so that is why the free share concept comes. But if the market doesn't give you at 18 PE, I'll make it 18. For me at least.
All right.
So I'll reduce the price to such an extent that for me the PE is 18. The price that I paid. I mean, not the PE in the sense the actual PE of the company, but the price that I paid is 18 or less than that. Usually it is 4, 5, something of that sort.
So data, as the data which you extract,
I wanted to tell you all one more thing.
Yeah, please.
There is a site called. No, I like to share that part. See, this one, you can install it on your Windows machine. Okay. And you will get the daily download you can do of prices, all shares. The entire Bhav copy, no?
Okay.
Will come every day. Okay, so you can go here and you can just download and if you are using AMI Broker or something, you can upload that automatically into AMI.
No, I don't use AMI Broker, but this will be like in an Excel format, right?
It's a CSV format. You can open it in Excel. You can open it in Excel. But only EOD data is there.
Yeah, EOD, correct. So,
okay, now for these guys, for IT guys, it's an open source software. You can download the entire source code also, and then you can tweak it and download other things from NSE using the same.
okay.
For example, if you want to download the bulk deals, you want to download a change in क्या NSE में आते रहता है, change in circuit limits, change in margins, all those things. If you want to download, automatically you can download.
Sir, what is the importance of bhav copy?
Bhav copy is a daily rate. No? All this, whatever you're seeing, is from bhav copy. This high, low, whatever you saw, is from bhav copy. So now a computer can't look at this chart and make sense of it. It can only look at the open, high, low, close, these 4 points, the volume, some integer which shows the volume, integer which shows open interest, all those kinds of things you need if you are going to do any kind of automation.
Correct.
So for that you will require to actually download the bhav copy and work on it. So whoever is interested in automation or trying to automate and do things, you can use that bhav copy, get bhav copy to get the daily NSE and BSE bhav copy, and then you can start playing around with that data.
But on this bhav copy, all the fundamental will be
No. Only price. Only price. Nothing else is there. Only 6 fields are there. The name of the company, open, high, low, close, volume.
And to select to shortlist a stock, we will need the fundamental data.
That you can get in screener or something.
Okay, screener. Okay, that already I just wanted to confirm that is the right source.
For real-time data, I think we have to pay 500 for NSE, right? Monthly.
Real-time data in real-time data is very expensive. 14,000 per month or something like that. Okay, if you want the streaming data, you don't need it. Especially if you're doing this kind of trading, which I showed you, it is on positional. You don't require. I don't care what the price is. If it comes to my price, then I care about it. If it is somewhere above or somewhere below, I don't care what it is.
So how you use this bhav data?
The bhav data tells me how do I compute. See, I have to compute all these things. What is the buy zone? What is the sell zone? And all that based on data. Numbers, right? I cannot see this chart. The computer can't open Red Tiger and check out the chart. Newer versions are actually doing it, but it's not something which.
Because that is what I was wondering, how to get the buy zone and support zone from the data actually.
That you can get. That is really not very difficult.
But volume will not come on this. Volume is something which is important to get the average of the volume.
It comes from. You get volume also. Volume, open interest. It's delivery volume, overall volume, delivery volume, open, high, low, close, and ticker. These are the things that you get.
Oh, on this sheet. Okay.
I'll show you. One second.
Yeah, sure.
Sir, does it also show the average volume?
Yeah. Average volume you have to calculate. Average volume is not.
Yeah. Because that should be our benchmark.
Oh my! This thing is closed.
Just to add here, you can also get historical data of stocks from NSE website. So you could just download that for the scripts that you're interested in, in addition to the bhav copy if you're focusing on a particular script.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
So that will also help you get average, and that is also in CSV format. So you can get averages, etc., in a better way. So you can have a bhav copy for as like your master sheet, and then you could pick out the ones.
Okay.
This is the NSE bhav copy. Okay. For today.
Okay.
So you get ticker, date, open, high, low, close, volume, and open interest means delivery.
Delivery, yeah. Sir, hello.
So all these things, can you see the screen now?
Yeah, now it is visible.
So you can see whatever. So this is for every day you get this data. So you can.
This is NSE, right? NSE data.
This is NSE. Same thing
Yeah,
for BSE also.
Correct.
You have NSE, you have BSE. You have... Okay, it's very late tomorrow.
Yeah,
You have
it
to
was
work.
really excellent insight.
I hope
There's so many
good.
things. Definitely, it is a process, so it will take time. थोड़ा लेते रहेंगे आपसे.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thanks everybody. Any questions you can always ask.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thanks.
sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
I'm just
Thank you so
stopping
much.
the recording. अभी
Yeah.
क्या होता है